How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today we've got another deck profile and some more Masters content, and this one is for the Green GoBros Deck. So Green, as most of you see my channel for Masters, you know that I do enjoy a Green deck. I didn't play it often, and since I got rid of my collection, I don't really have the time or luxury to play casually for Green decks, or even put the investment into buy it, considering like the state of Masters at the moment. But GoBros has been one I've been interested in, but then I wasn't as interested in it before they hit things like Charismatics. With the units and stuff, I felt it was probably the best way to play it, but wasn't my cup of tea. With like focusing more on units, having some dead cards. So after it got hit, I kind of thought more ways to make it a bit more consistent and keep it going, and I think I've come up with a good list. So if you're interested and you do enjoy GoBros, feel free to go through and have a look and see if you've got any suggestions or how you feel about that. Because remember, you can help support the channel out by giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. And even by hitting the notification bell, you can get alerts when my videos do come out, so you can watch it there and then or at a later time. So out of the way, let's get on to Deck Planet here to being the best and only deck builder in the game, and well, for any Dragon Ball Super card game, and let's check it out. So we're going to use this handy feature. We can look at this, look at the leader to kind of understand what the leader does before we dive into the deck. So it's called GoBros, even though it's a Green Goten deck, because when you do Awaken, you then get joined by your brother Gohan. So it's basically two brothers that come together to fight, and they're pretty nice as well. Because Goten on the front side, he's got an activate main, so he doesn't need to attack. I mean, you got a good turn one use of even if you go first, you got a way to make use of that. Get an advantage without having to worry about having to attack. Activating once per turn, look at top 5 cards of your deck, add it to one Green Gohan Adolescence or Son Goten to your hand and shuffle your deck. So not the biggest array of targets, but some good targets nonetheless, and you hopefully find the things that help out your archetype. And then the Awaken is when you like to 4 or less, or you have 2 or more energy and you have a family Kamehameha most delivered in your battle area. You draw 2, add cards from your life until you have 6 life left and flip over, so you've got the more defensive Awakening, drawing cards, and then taking life down to 6. 6 is not the best number, like you would want it at 5. But then, if you don't have a token negate, it doesn't matter. But then 6 life, so you have high enough life anyway. Doesn't make it a bit fairer. And now you've also got this new guy on the card being Goten. So you know Gohan and Goten brothers. I would love if it said just 2 brothers. That would be a great Rick and Morty reference. And now you have an auto along with 2 activate skills. So the auto is now when you play a Son Gohan Adolescence or Son Goten card, that's both green with energy cost of 6 or more, from your hand you draw a card. So it means when you play your big boss Gohan Goten card, you get to draw a card, which is really nice. So you play your big boss card and you get to draw a card, which is very good. Makes it a lot better playing that card, because normally when you play a boss card, you kind of neg in your hand unless the card draws itself. But having to play your boss card out and draw a card, especially when this boss card's really good, is really handy. So you got a bit of draw from that. But only that, you also got another way to draw, being activate main once per turn. Play up to 1 Son Gohan Close Call or Son Goten Close Call from your hand, or drop in rest mode. So you don't really want to draw it from your hand. You want to get it from your drop, because that means you've made use of it, and also hopefully you've sent it there from your Z energy. And this is really handy because these ones are just basically 1-drop cantrips that when you play, you draw a card, or play out another copy of the other card from your deck. So this, along with Healing Pod, which you probably would assume and would hope to see is in the deck, which spoiler alert is, gets you even more cards to make you draw a pretty nice tasty hand. And none of this needs you to attack or anything, which is really handy. And then you have the Activate Battle, which I don't think is going to be triggered in this deck, which is once per turn if you discard 1 card from your hand. During that turn, the next time you activate the Activate Battle on a Son Gohan Adolescence or Son Goten card, both green with energy cost of 6 from your hand, reduce the energy that skills cost by 1. Now, you don't have to worry about that. I don't know why I bother reading that, because we're not going to use anything like that. We don't have any of 6 cost Goten or Gohan Adolescent, so never worry about that. But I think no, there's no other skill really for it, so you don't have to worry about that at all. That's basically useless. It's just the first 2 ones. Basically, you draw a card when you play your boss card, and draw a card by playing out a 1-drop from your deck and triggering the Healing Pod. So that's the lead. So the one thing we're going to note from this is the green is main kind of characteristics and traits you need to worry about this leader. First of all, it's green, so you access the green stuff, the good green things in the deck. There's also Saiyan. Being a green Saiyan is very handy for some cards, and also it's a Son Gohan Adolescence, which comes relevant for some cards, so we'll see in the back. So let's drop off this and have a look at the deck and see what we've got cooking for the list. You see there already is a card that's errated, limit to 1, so you might have a guess as what those are. We'll go ahead and guess, and let me know if you guessed it before we got to it. We'll start off with the kind of things you can search from this leader, so with the Goten you can search. So first one is you can search your Son Gohan close call and your Son Goten close call, both your little 1-drops that bring out. So these are 1-drop 4K. Both have to flex, so they can't be counterplayed, and they have enough. Also, when this card is played, just played from anywhere, drop or hand, you get to choose 1 or 2 effects, either draw a card, main thing you're going to do, or you can play up to 1 of the other ones from your deck, with skills needed for the turn, and then shuffle your deck. So you can either play Gohan plays Goten, Goten plays Gohan, vice versa, things like that. So these are your normal ones you're going to be comboing to get, and they're basically just constantly playing out from your lead. They come out in rest mode, but still to get you a draw, which is the main thing you're after. Then we've also got a super combo, so we've gone for this Great Saiyaman Vanquisher of Villainy super combo instead of the Paragus, because while Paragus is a very good super combo, this Gohan has the whole thing of being searchable from the Goten's unawakened side, so out of that kind of searchability is just as good. And sometimes you don't want to warp, you don't want to get rid of a card and send it to warp. You kind of want to just put back in your deck so you can find it later. And considering a shuffling in this game, that's pretty decent. And so we've got the Great Saiyaman searchable. Only free because there's never a super combo in here. You'll see. You'll probably guess what it is. So that is that. And just double check if you just it's got to be a green one. Okay, so it doesn't search for thing we're looking for. So everyone's a bit busted. But then we've also got our 8-drop SS Son Gohan, SS Son Goten, Emotions Delivered. So this is a really good card, and we will have a look and see what this does because it's a boss card. Let's have a look. So what it basically does is it's got an effect when it attacks. You choose one of your opponent's unisons and knock 2 markers off it. So that's really handy. Just when you swing, take markers off unison, which is really going to be really handy if Z-Unisons make a big impact. Just be able to drop this, swing, minus 2 markers off a unison, or even decks that don't have Z-Unisons but have normal unisons, knocking markers off things with which side to swing. It's really handy. Then it's also got another alter, which is this one's response per turn, which is when one of your Saiyan cards deals damage to your opponent, you get to choose 1 or 2 effects. You either get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it, or you get to make your opponent discard a card from hand. So, and it's just any Saiyan as well, so it doesn't have to be this card. It can be any your Saiyans that's damage to your opponent. Then you got either ditch a card or pop a card. And if you got multiple of these on the board, you get to get all those effects because not limit 1 for this, also just 1 per turn for that card. Meaning you can get 2 on board, you do damage for 1, you get to make and discard 2 or pop 2 cards. And you can bring this out for quite cheap and quite easily for its activate main, which is limit 1 for 1 green. If you have 3 or more energy, if your leader is green and your opponent has 3 or more energy, and you have a Z extra in your battle area, you get player's card from your hand. So if do is get a Z extra on board, which is very easy to do, you can do that very easily. You can either do that turn 2, not turn 1, but turn 2. And you basically just need to have your opponent have 3 energy, which if they're not going to 3 energy, then their play around is pretty well. But they're not really having much energy to do things with, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And we play 4 copies of it, because when you play it out, you draw a card. If you do every turn you drop this out, you draw a card from your lead. And also you can put some pressure added that also, and the more you get on board, the more these effects stack up, and the more hard it is for your opponent to deal with it, deal with these just coming at you constantly. So I think that might be all of them. Nope, it's not. That is all the targets. So for the leader's effect, you've got a total of 15 targets. So it's a good amount. If you don't have any of these in your hand, it's more likely you're going to hit one off the top 5. But if you whiff, you whiff. But if you don't, then you're golden there. You've got some more cards. But you mainly want to find these ones so you can get the strategy going of like bring it out. And we've got Berry Blue as the way I feel like could be very useful for this deck to kind of get Healing Pod out and kind of like get more consistency with it. Because with Healing Pod, it's a card you have to kind of draw into. And with the new mulligan, you can't really keep hold of it and fix your hand. You need to just look at your hand and go, I don't have Healing Pod, I have to mulligan my whole hand. But Berry Blue is a nice way to kind of try and find Healing Pod and give that consistency to it. Because her effect is when she's played, you get a top 7. So top 7, that's quite a big search. Not top 10, but top 7 is better than top 5 or top 3. To find either a green specified cost 2 cost unison, or a green extra card with the field skill on it, and that's your hand. Those top 7 is quite deep, and you have to worry about the second effect, the activate main, because it's only relevant if you have King Cold, which of course I'm not playing King Cold, we're playing GoBros here. So we've got 4 of these, because this is going to be handy for a turn 1 play to kind of play it out, try and find your Healing Pod, so you can turn 2, drop that down, drop a Z extra, awaken, then play out from your drop one of these guys, hopefully then draw a card and draw another one Healing Pod to kind of get that set up, get more consistency in doing so, and at the very least, like a combo or a 1 cost play to try and find some good stuff, and also as well, energy charge. So while it's handy to find this card Healing Pod here, and this is the stuff for most green decks now, because this has a nice little effect. Well, when you play a green battle card from your drop, you draw a card. So since you can just for free from lead just play out one of these Gohan or Goten cards, one drops from your drop, and they come out, they draw a card, and Healing Pod draws a card. That's 2 cards a turn for free, and you've got a card on board. So every time you get in 2 cards a turn without even attacking, can be very handy. And we've also got a way to make sure that Berry Blue is not just always whiffing, just finding this, and then make use of sometimes these Gotens here or Berry Blues that just stick around by using 4 copies of SS Bardock, Patona Unison as well. This allows you to get a bit more hand control, like green is kind of like main identity is, but get the slow hand control, not hand destruction, hand control, by just being able to come down, gain that +1 by popping one of these to put back in your drop ready to drop out again, so it's not there if it be warped or anything like that, and then make your opponent discard one. And also has a little passive also as well, when every time your opponent combos, you have the option to ditch a card from their combo to the drop, and then negate skill of this for the turn, so it means you control the opponent's combo. So if the combo with like super combo, you can go sat off, try again, making combo more than they need to. And yeah, just searchable with Berry Blue, easy to come down for just 2 energy, and you got some good defense in green as well, some of the floodgates and things like that. And then you've also got the -3 that acts as a kind of finisher, being -3, this card gets 5k power and triple attack for the turn. I mean, you can maybe get a 20k triple attacker for the turn to kind of like finish out, especially with this auto. You're going to make it harder for your opponent to combo out swings as well, which is quite nice. So Berry Blue kind of had 8 targets for it, so it's not too dead. And it kind of, this does fill up, but it kind of helps fill a void. And we've also got the limited one, which is a copy of Charismatic. It's so good, it was limited, so we're going to keep playing that one copy because we do play Unisons here, and also there are Z-Unisons too. Then we've got 3 copies of Call Out Armed Force, a nice little barrier card you can drop down, so you can drop it for 2 energy once you've got 3 or more energy, I think it is. It's hard to see directly from this. But it comes as a barrier with double strike, 20k, comes down, when it attacks, you get to choose either one or 2 options, being either make your opponent discard a card from hand, or make him pop one of their battle cards, so kind of like what this guy does if he does damage, but on a more expensive battle card that has a little bit weaker as well, but has double strike pressure. You bring it out for 2, but if your leader is green and you have 3 or more energy, you can play this card from your hand. And you do have a way to kind of restand this and make it a second sack out by activate battle. Well, sorry, activate main. Limit 1, if you have a Z battle card on your board with energy cost of 2 or more, then you get the switches card to active mode. And there are ways to get ones out for cheap, and you can do it in the same turn as well to kind of get good pressure on. But we'll come to that when we get the Z deck. We got 3 copies of this because these 5k combo, and it's a good one to have to get that board control or hand control as well. Then we've got some King Cold Supreme Rollers, so if you get the Healing Pod down and you also get your Z extra down, you've got 2 field cards in your battle area, which adds to the permanent, make this card a 1 cost, because this is just a counter attack, negate attack, and play this card. Basically negating an attack and playing out a 15k attacker. But then the permanent, where it has the permanent on the card is if you have you reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each extra card in your battle area. So having a field card and Z extra means that's 2 extra cards in your battle area, meaning that you can then make it a 1 cost. And it's got a nice little passive auto where if for the rest of the turn, when this card is played, for the rest of the turn, if your opponent wants to attack your lead, you have to discard a card from their hand each time. So it means if your opponent wants to go at your lead and if your opponent's trying to go for game and you want to hold them off, drop this, negate 1 attack, stop 1, and then for every attack after that, your opponent has to discard a card out of hand if they want to attack your leader. And they can tank, swing, everything else. If they got a Unison, they're going to start swinging to that. But if you want to protect your lead, this is a really good handy negate. Just get that kind of thing on, and you can have floodgates that kind of go on with that to make it harder for your opponent to kind of come at you in a turn. So we've got 3 copies of that because it's quite a handy one, and is even common power as well and chargeable. Then we've got 2 copies of Son Goku A Fated Rival. I like having this one anytime because it does the same thing as the 8 drop, but then it doesn't need to attack. You can just play it to pop rather than need an attack, because your opponent can kind of do things with counter plays and stuff like that to kind of stop you from attacking with a card, so that way you can get the effect off. When it's just on play, comes down and pops something, and it's your barrier removal. While also always having barrier, always having double strike, having double strike anyway, but also allowing you recycle things like your super combos back to your decks. You can more than trying to get legally get more than 4 super combos, because this one, if your opponent has 3 or more energy, and you place one of your Saiyan Earthling or Mechian cards that are green from your Z energy to the bottom of your deck, you can play this card out. When it comes down, if your leader's green, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and you're on barrier and KO it, and it's got double strike as well and barrier, so it's got protection. Very handy card. 30k double strike as well is pretty nice. So I have this. It's just removal without attacking. If you don't want to swing with anything to kind of hold them off your opponent from hitting like combos and things like that. Then we have 2 copies of Sun Gohan Latent Power Unleashed, such as a handy way to kind of deal with unisons, and since Z-Unisons are a thing, and if they become relevant, then this could be very handy. This has got a nice way to kind of like knock markers off unisons by just when it's comboed. Well, when it's putting your Z energy, if you pay 1 green, you can choose one of your opponent's unisons and take 3 markers of it. So a really handy card, just C charge and then recycle with this Fated Rival. And is also, 2 other copies, just handy way to deal with unisons, but if you don't see it, you can just charge it or just even play it for 2 energy when you're 4 or less. And it's a deflect critical when it is played, it pops on your opponent's battle cards with a, I think it just pops when you opponent's battle cards. Might be a certain energy card I can't really see from the text here, but it is pretty good. And then we've got the bigger, more annoying version of Fated Rival being SS Son Goku and SS Son Gohan, SS2 Son Gohan, Father Son Solidarity. So this is an 8-drop 35k, so a bit bigger than Fated Rival, in both level and power. Also has Deflect unlike Fated Rival, and also has Double Strike, but doesn't have Barrier. But it gains Barrier because when it's played, you basically gains Barrier until the end of your opponent's for the turn. And I think there's more to it, but I can't really tell from this. I think it's just when this card when it attacks against Barrier. But essentially, long story short, you don't have to worry about a second auto. But you play it out for 2 energy when your opponent has 3 or more energy, and it comes down. No, it doesn't gain Barrier. I'm getting it confused. I'm seeing Barrier in the text, but I'm kind of confused myself because I don't really play this. I haven't played green for a while, so I've been mainly sticking to red. It's the only one that I've got most of the cards into. But essentially, to come down, you got the activate main, which is limit 1. You pay you essentially pay 2 green energy, and if your leader is green and your opponent has 3 or more energy, you play it out and it gains Barrier for the turn. And then when it attacks, you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with it, ignoring Barrier and KO it, and then your opponent discards 1 card from your hand. And the Ever Auto is irrelevant because we don't have any kind of Goku card to kind of trigger that auto, so it's irrelevant. 3 of this because it's a nice big beat set to swing with. Hand control removal in it as well, and it's just like really strong card. It's a really great card. It shouldn't really been played. It's just too strong a card. And then we got some of the other cards. The first thing we've got is our super combo, being Piccolo and Son Gohan. Newfound Might. And this is this is why we only have 3 super combos of the Gohan, because this is also a super combo. But remember the facts we said about the lead being note the traits on the lead. Because the lead is a Son Gohan Adolescence, it can play this card because this card requires you to either be either yellow, a Son Gohan Adolescence, or a Piccolo card to be able to be usable. And it's really handy because it's a 40k beat stick super combo with a permanent, where if it's removed from the battle area, it's removed from the game, like most secrets do, like all have now that isn't written on the card. And the other one is it is a 5k 5 cost combo, 30k combo. So it costs 5 energy to combo, and it's 30k. That's 30k power to from combo power. But it's got an auto where for every card your opponent has in rest, it reduces the combo cost. So if your opponent has 5 cards in rest, it's a free combo. And considering your opponent's going to be tapping cards to be able to do things like attacking, things like that, you're going to be reducing the cost of it. And it's a really handy one to have defensively to kind of out combo things, or even be aggressively to go ham on your opponent as well with a big combo. And not only that, but as long as your leader is a Son Gohan Adolescence, which ours is, and in a combo, when this guy's using the combo from your hand, you get to play it out, draw a card, and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, which is the rest mode. Well, no, sorry, it's just if your leader's a yellow card, Son Gohan Adolescence, or Piccolo, when this guy's using the combo from your hand, you get to play it out at the end of the battle. And its Ever Auto is when it's played or when it attacks, you get to choose draw a card and choose one of your opponent's battle cards and rest it. Battle cards or unisons, that's the one. So it's a really handy one. Get you more draws and more pressure as well, and free pressure as well because it comes out for free. Especially if you put on like a swing from like this 8-drop here as well. That can be very horrible to deal with and very not nice to kind of like be on the receiving end of. And then we've got some extra cards. We don't have it overrun because you kind of want your drop for stuff, and you can put in overrun, but I just don't like to have it when you've got like drop area centric things going on. That you don't want to get, like, you can manage around this, but if your opponent kind of gets rid of your card after you've overrun, then you're going to be in a tough spot to try and get some draw power on. So I haven't put one in. But we've got uneasily awakened range. Like, nothing's really changed on the errata apart from for a Gohan, but we're not Gohans, we've got the same thing as normal. This being a floodgate, where as long as your leader is a green Saiyan, a mono green Saiyan, and you can negate the attack, and then additionally, if you've got life of 4 or less, you can discard a card to make it so your opponent has to Z-charge a card from the hand every time they attack for the rest of the turn. And you can play this for free as long as you have you can play this for free as long as you buy discarding a card from your hand, as basically instead of paying the energy cost. I think you can let these cards count as skill from your hand by paying without paying the energy cost by discarding 1 card from your hand. So you can use it as a free negate, meaning you've got to basically just ditch 2 cards from your hand and use this up to kind of negate an attack, which so it actually negates attack on like dormant, and then also put a floodgate on as long as you're 4 or less life. So we've got 3 copies of that because you don't want to clog your hand up, but free's enough to kind of see it, especially with the draw power now. And we got 2 dormant potential unleashed because if we get our Z-Unison or this Bardock Unison out, this could be a handy way to kind of limit the attacks the opponent has, being to 2. And then we've got 3 copies of Homicidal Clone because you awaken, because that way it's another free negate as well to kind of hint, like with Uneasy Awaken Rage, make it harder for your opponent to kind of push through you. Because if you get Supreme King Cold down and Uneasy Awaken Rage, you can make it so your opponent has to almost stop their turn because they're going to have to be discarding a card, and if they attack lead anyway, and Z-charging a card if they want to attack anymore. And then Homicidal Clones mean you have to pay that cost to do that. Then get the attack, play out a blocker, which can then block another attack, meaning that they're just having a pointless time trying to do anything and might just end up stopping turn. Now I tried to keep this a 50 card, so this is a 50 card deck, and there probably is some changes people suggest. This is what I've just put together so far from how I play and like my ideas I had, like Berry Blue and Healing Pod was like my main thing, and then adding the Unison package just to have a still like this Unison package rather than like the freeze and stuff, just to have another way to make it fit and not add to too many dead cards in hand. So if you want to try it out, feel free to try it out and let me know how it does. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to drop them and take them in because I am learning. I do want to try out this, and this is kind of how I'm going about it so far. Then we go to the Z deck. So we've got the Z deck, and plus we've got more Z deck cards because we've got 10 now. So once again, we've got another one. We've got 8. So we've got some of these might be multiples. So first of all, we've got 1 copy of SSB Vegeta's Amount of the Impossible. This allows you to take life if you need be to go from 6 to 5, or even down to from 5 to 4 if you need to use super combos and stuff, just to help set up and be handy when to do that. And we want to make use of it because green doesn't have the best selection compared to other colors, but it does have a good amount. And we also got a Jiro as well as another way to do this if you fear a counterplay or want something with barrier on to kind of protect itself, because it does the same kind of thing, just different colors and different requirements. Because they both allow you to take a life and then draw a card to replace themselves. And Vegeta allows you to, well, they both are bottom deck a card, but they both do the same kind of thing in the end. Just one's green, one's black, so one doesn't require certain energy, one requires specific green stuff, and has barrier and protection. Then we've got 1 copy of the SSN Goku Emotions Delivered. It goes with the Z Extra. I can't remember what it is, which one of these it is. But it goes with the Z Extra because you can use the stack underneath and make use of it for some other stuff with this. So I'm not going to go over it. It's just a card that go in there. You're not going to use it often. But you can read up on it if you want, because I can't really read it from this view. And we're still going through this. So we've got 2 copies of Free Broly the Tyrant. This is the card, well, the Z card you can get out that kind of fulfills the conditions for a cooler card without paying 2 energy for it, because you can make it cheaper. Because it's got the permanent where you can reduce the when you want to play this card, you can essentially reduce the cost of this by 1 cost and 1 Z energy by instead of paying its normal cost, reduce the cost to 1 energy and 1 Z energy by sacking off a non-unique green card from your battle area to make it 1 cost cheaper in both Z energy and normal energy. And then if you have 4 more energy, when a card in your battle area is sent to drop, or by a skill, which is sent to drop, this card gets Viking Power and Double Strike, and you got the activate main where only you have 4 more energy. You can sack off 1 of your non-unique cards from your battle area to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So a bit of removal, the trigger as well to make it Double Striker as well to go with Cooler, a very nice card to go with it. So you can even sack off Cooler after it's got its 2 swings in, just to trigger this effect too. Then you got Journey Movable, and never like a nice way to deal with Unisons, kind of knock markers off it using your Z energy. And you can accumulate quite a bit with those 1-drops as well, make use of it just if you want extra ways to do it. And also have a way to kind of potentially go through for a kill swing with Double Strike on a body that is protected, because when it comes out, you can choose one of your battle cards 5 or less and make it so it can't be removed by skills for the turn. So you can essentially bring it out, choose it, use the activate main to give it like a 10k Double Strike, and then go all in and know that you've got protection behind it as well. And then we've got 2 copies of the Bardock Father's Help Unison. So this is another unison you can have to have these unison requirement stuff, like this unison package stuff ready. And also gain some more cards as well, because it does have an auto. When one of your cards are blocked is removed from the battle by opponent's skill, you gain a marker on this card, so that's how you gain markers, and it requires 2 energy and 1 Z energy. It's got 2 activate main skills, both don't gain markers, so don't lose markers. First one is if your leader is green, you can draw a card, then give one of your Saiyan, Namekian, or Earthling cards blocker until the end of the opponent's turn. So then setting up a card on board with they get rid of it. So you can give it to something that's important that you don't want the opponent to get rid of. And if they do get rid of, you get more markers on this card, or even give something blocker like one of your 8-drops or one of your cards that's active to kind of defend this card. And if they remove it, you get more markers on it. And it's just more ways to kind of draw cards and then just have extra swings. Or you can use the Ever Activate main skill, which is by sacking off one of your Z energy from your Z energy to drop, you make your opponent discard a card from hand. So added extra hand control in this way by you making use of cards you potentially combo with to push damage and then Z charge to kind of get some discard going as well. So you've got nice little options with this, and it's either a draw one every turn, or it's a make your opponent discard one. It's very good unison. We've got 2 copies of it because we feel that should be enough to make use of them in a game. Then we got Family Kamehameha, Emotions Delivered. So this is the extra to help you awaken turn 2, and also Z stack this Goku and just give a nice little effect where you can give critical to your either 8-drop or leader card swing when you go for a big swing. So a really nice one to go for, and even give it. I think there's this Goku give it triple strike for the 8-drop as well. So you got a nice way to kind of go for a gaming swing, which is quite cool. And then you've got the limit Kamehameha, where if you need a Mighty Blast, where if you don't want to use the Family Kamehameha for some reason, or you use it and then you want to get another one out for stuff, then you have this as an option to kind of get some extra discard or some extra power as well. So as a Z deck, if you got any suggestions for this, I think there are some changes you can make, like Jiren. It's like his options, but then I feel this is quite good because we've got the bigger Z deck now. The ones that are just generic good stuff and don't have an archetype based on the Z cards can finally have more space for them. But ones like this, where it's just more normally generic stuff, can be quite handy. So that's it from me today. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you have any changes or suggestions with this deck. I'd love to hear them because I do want to make this better because it might be one of the decks I do run competitively if I'm not playing red. And I do like the look of it because I do like the decks like this. I love Healing Pod. I've liked it ever since it got released, and we've had this at 9 with Jiren and stuff like that with green stuff. And it's just nice to have it useful again. And I want to just kind of get back into playing some green stuff as well. Let's not go up anyway. So thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.